So today, let's talk about $300 billion coming to Bitcoin after this happens. So what needs to happen for $300 billion to flow into Bitcoin and the entire crypto sector? Anthony Scaramucci says the worst of the bear market is behind us. I wouldn't sell your Bitcoin. You made it through winter. That's exactly right. If you lived through 2022 and first half of 2023, what are you worried about? You already lived through the period when Bitcoin fell from 69,000 all the way down to 15,000, right? Like, if you've lived through that, what are you scared about, right? We're at 27,000, where we're up about 50, 60% from our bottom. We're obviously in a recovery mode right now, but why would you be worried if you lived through that? Now, if you didn't live through that, I guess, that's a different story. But most of you guys have been clinging on and holding and accumulating for well over 2 years, right? So, I mean, this is exactly right. Why would you sell your Bitcoin now? Especially when you have $3 billion that will be coming into Bitcoin after we get some spot Bitcoin ETFs. Morgan Creek Capital CEO believes they'll be approved by year end, not even in 2024, because this is part of the quad effect that I keep talking about for 2024. But maybe it's going to come even sooner. Maybe spot Bitcoin ETFs will be approved in November, because the next deadline, I believe, is in November, and then it gets carried into March, right? So we could actually get some Bitcoin spot ETFs, which will attract $300 billion. That's a lot of money. And the funny thing is, that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. Wait until 2024 and 2025 rolls around. Wait until the FOMO kicks in, especially from these big institutions. Not just retail investors. Retail investors are already in. But wait until the big corporations and the big financial institutions now buying Bitcoin or Bitcoin spot ETFs, right? It's way more than 300 billion. We're talking about trillions that could be flowing into the entire space. The market cap of everything right now in crypto is only 1.05 trillion. At our peak, I believe we're close to 3 trillion, right? So we're already 2 trillion off. So that's trillions already. But this cycle, we are going well above our previous high. This cycle, by the end of 2025, we could see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trillion dollar market cap. We're talking about trillions upon trillions upon trillions flowing in to the sector, right? That's how massive this is going to be. So again, why would you leave? Why would you sell your Bitcoin right now? Doesn't make any sense, right? It makes no sense to be fearful right now. If anything, this is the time to be greedy. That's what I've been saying. Tim Draper, also billionaire, big Bitcoin bull, big crypto bull. He's starting his accelerator right now in the bear market, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. You take advantage, right? In a bear market, when money's not flowing and you have the money, you get options to invest in whatever you want, right? This is the time to do it, just like DCA. And why would you not want to DCA when things are low? You got a lot of options, a lot of cheap crypto that you can buy right now. It's kind of the same thing, right? And Tim Draper already made hundreds of millions of dollars through his Bitcoin purchases, and he's going to make a lot more. He's an investor in like 100 different projects, right? So this is the right way to do it. This is interesting. Looking at Bitcoin wallets, those that have less than 100 Bitcoin, right, command 41.1% of the overall supply. So if you think that it's just all whales and all institutions like MicroStrategy that holds the entire supply, you're thinking again, right? Under 100 Bitcoin is commanding 41.1, and it keeps on growing too. So that means retail investors, right? Of course, some whales, 100 Bitcoin is a lot. mostly retail investors, some whales, are still accumulating a lot. And that's a good thing because you don't want the entire circuit of supply to be owned by big institutions like BlackRock, right? No one wants that. No one wants BlackRock and Vanguard and Fidelity to be controlling the market. So this is why it's important to accumulate now while things are still affordable versus when Bitcoin is above 100,000 or 150,000, because then people want a FOMO, but you could buy it now for much cheaper at a discount. Why would you not want to do that? Yeah, here's another chart that's kind of showing, similarity between now and what happened back in 2020, just a few years ago. Imagine around the COVID crash, and imagine selling off around then, right? How silly would you feel? Hey, there was a lot of naysayers that drove a lot of people to sell around that time. Okay. Yeah, that had you listened to any of those people or had you sold, you would have lost out on a lot of money. You would be kicking yourself, right? So, but don't be doing the same thing right now. There's so many bearish people still. I just don't get it. How can you be bearish right now? Here's another one that's interesting, looking at this kind of like triple bottom, right? And this spans over years. This is not like a few weeks. This is spanning the 2019 bottom, 2019, 2020, and 2021 bottoms, right? So we had one in 2023. Are we forming one in 2024? And then what's our bottom in 2025 before we explode upwards to the moon, right? I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how high that bottom will be, but history tends to rhyme. History doesn't always repeat, but it tends to rhyme. So I'm sure we'll see something similar, right? Here's something else, Gaussian channel that shows that, yeah, prior we had two periods when Bitcoin went into the red and then turned green, and then it was just good, right? We have just turned into the green. Again, why would you want to be leaving now? Why would you be fearful now? This is the bottom point of this new bull cycle. This is when Bitcoin starts heading higher. So why would you be fearful now? It makes no sense whatsoever. Gaussian. There we go.